So here's our stab at a podcast. And culture and tradition have always been something important to me. Growing up Mexican, with having a lot of family and friends and stuff like that, that makes, I guess, Mexicans very something that friendships and family is very important to Mexicans. So is their tradition, so is their food. But I always thought, like, if I had it my way, if I could pick a race, what race would I pick? Obviously, you have one. You can't really pick one, but if I could, I would pick one. Do you have a race that you would prefer to be?
No. I honestly, it's the same anywhere.
The same anywhere? What do you
Yeah.
mean?
No matter what race you are, white supremacy is everywhere. In every single race.
What do you mean white supremacy? What the
So,
fuck do you mean by
like,
that?
I'm not trying to speak for anybody else, so I'll use Mexicans as an example. But traditionally, like everything, right? If you look at every single, like Miss Mexico, right? I'm gonna use that as the standard there. None of them have ever been like dark skinned, right? And I don't mean like, oh, brown, right? But like I'm talking about like south of like Mexico City dark. Like I can't really think of like some Mexican that's like super super dark. That's the thing. So I can't think of any famous like dark skinned Mexican, right? But like those that are descended like directly from like the Aztec and Mayan people, right? Let me just go out here and say it like this: the people from like Oaxaca, right? Like even the people that I know, like they use that as like an insult. They'll use, oh, that person looks like he's from Oaxaca because he's got the the almond eyes, the like super dark brown skin, and that'll be directed as an insult, right? And then like you have people that are like praised because, oh, they're lighter, right? Like for instance, I have some people that talk about, oh, look, there's a a guy or girl, right, and she's lighter, right? Personally, like my own brother, he's more light skinned than I am, and he's got more friends. Everything is just better for him, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, white supremacy is everywhere. Do you like you ain't ever gonna see too many people say, oh, look, there's this person, that's like, as dark as Akon, like say that they're attractive. You do have, I'm not saying that everybody has that, because you know
People are into everything nowadays.
People have different preferences. Maybe you do like that guy or girl that's like as dark as Akon, or that looks like they've been working out in the sun all damn day. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
So are you saying people that tend to have a lighter skin tone have a better future in life?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that the doors are open more for them than they are for other people.
You sound extremely salty about that.
It's not as well. Yes, but I mean, this is just something that's been bothering me for years. Like, it's something that like my I had somebody bring it up to me. Oh, they're like, oh, Mexicans can't be racist. Like, we hate on our own race because they're darker than we are, right? I mean, I'm not like dark, like super dark, but like I'm saying, like the people that are, traditionally from, the southern part of Mexico City, like it's just something that's been embedded into everybody's culture. You always want to have that lighter skin, right? Um,
Which reminds me, I remember being like a little third grader, second grader, and a lot of my classmates were white. And I remember asking my teacher or talking to my fellow classmates, and I remember wishing upon myself that I was white. And I remember asking myself, why can't I be white? And this is me as a little kid. So, I mean, what Juan is saying is very true. That wasn't my original question that I think, asked, because it's kind of random, even though it's true. So I'll answer the question, and let's see if after I answer the question, he changes his mind. So if I had a way, I love being Mexican. Everything about being Mexican is cool. I have embraced it. I love it. However, I do like those Italian light-skinned guys. So there you go. Again, I like white guys. It just happened to be that way. I prefer white guys, but not saying that if a Mexican dark-skinned guy likes me that I would be against it, or if a black person or any other race, I wouldn't be against it, because I don't want to marry somebody who I necessarily am attracted to, but then they treat me like dump. Like, I don't care what they look like as long as they treat me right. Ultimately, that's what I want. However, to answer the question, yes, if I had a chance to be another race, I would be Italian. Why? Because their men are sexy, their food is great, and they seem very similar to Mexicans. They're very big on family and their culture and their tradition. So I would want to be Italian if I had it my way. And I guess it goes back to his light-skinned supremacy, white KKK shit that he brought up in the first place, because that is true. So again, I asked the question, if you had it your way, if you could choose a race that, obviously, aside from Mexican, would you choose it? Is there another race you would choose?
I mean, okay, so aside from being like Mexican, right, or Latino in general, right, then no, because the only thing I would choose to be is it would be like Spanish.
Of course, a superior race, right? Superior Mexican race. Because we all know that the Spaniards think they're better than Mexicans.
I guess, yeah. But
and they tend to be lighter too, right? For the most part.
But then again, like our old mentor from our after school program said, they're a lot hairier.
Yes, but is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That depends. I mean,
on your preference, right?
I wouldn't want to be hairier.
Good point.
I'd prefer, obviously, the.
So you would still stick to a Hispanic culture?
Yeah, Latino, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't. I would go white. Not trying to be racist or anything, but I would go white. I just kind of tend to, I don't know, something in my brain that thought that white people or white supremacy, or it was embedded in me, because I also had my sister has a lighter skin than me, and she, for the most part, has had ultimately a better life than me. Not that I blame my skin color. I obviously, I'm not perfect, and the choices I've made have ultimately, the results of where I am at now, and I can't blame anybody but myself for them, despite my gender, race, blah 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 blah. You get it. Or as recently seen the Black Panther. Woof 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 woof. Anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Anything else you wanna?
I've already spoken my piece.
You sound very, very angry about it.
I kind of am. Like,
how ultimately how can you fix this?
why would you? I mean, you can't fix something that's been like it's like it's not something that's like, oh, recent, right?
Right.
It's something that's been going on for years, right?
So I mean, being recent, I know ultimately the Black Panther has changed my life. Do you think Black Panther, Wonder Woman, and Get Out, is it Get Out?
It would be Get Out.
Yeah, Get Out have changed that perspective a little bit? Or you think it's heading that way, at least towards Hollywood and the film industry? Or do you think we still have a long way to go?
No, there's still a lot more. So, I was going to say, the the last movie that like featured somebody aside from the Black Panther, the last few movies that have like won best picture, they've all been about white people, right? When was the last movie that actually won?
Coco won something, and it's like a anime Mexican film.
To animate, I guess, but
I mean, like you stated, why the hell is that car honking at us? What the fuck? We're trying to shoot a video, bitch. Sorry. Anyway, I mean, like we said, there's obviously still a long way to go towards changing that, but I think we're heading in the right direction, or at least some Hollywood directors are, or people, or whatever the fuck you call them nowadays. So what are you personally going to do about it if you don't like it, or if it bothers you? I mean, stating that it bothers you but then not doing anything about it is kind of pointless. It's like saying, oh, my life sucks, and just constantly saying my life sucks and not doing anything about it.
I mean, I've never been the kind of person to be like, oh, this person is, flat out ugly because they're dark, right? I tend to see people different.
Right. Well, there's
Right.
more aspects to just their darkness. I mean, there's also their
like,
brain and
like I'm not one person to be like, oh, this person is dark. They're invalid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Racism still exists, right? Like, that's still an issue.
Done.
Just because it's not very relevant in the Bay Area, it still occurs nationwide, even worldwide.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. But no, my thing was, okay, so like you may be again as dark as Akon, but I tend to be like, okay, well, you see, the thing is, what I was trying to say with that is, people who are darker, right, have to work harder,
Mm-hmm.
right, to they have to work harder because they have to prove themselves just as good as the people who are light skinned, because they get I'm not saying that they get shit handed to them, but that's kind of what I'm saying.
It's a fact. People that are prettier or that have a better personality tend to have a better opportunity than someone who's, let's say, shy or, different. I've seen it at work. I see it in life. It's true, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
I guess.
And what I plan to do with that or for it is I'm going to continue being me and be more open-minded and try and create more art and more, like, if I have an idea of a video or something that I want to say that I feel like can help people or connect people, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to limit myself and say, oh, nobody watches what I do or nobody cares. I'm going to just do it, because life is too short. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and leave my mark in this world.
Yeah.
Word.
I mean, what I can't really add to that.
I mean, you can. Because, like, I found out today, well, two things today. Like, two people that I say somewhat were not really very relevant in my life died. But they died, and they were human, and they were important people to others, and they were great people. And I don't want to just die and be like another person. I want to actually do what I want to do. And yeah. You?
Come
on, stop being shy. You know you want to say more.
No, I think
I'm
I've
giving
said
you
enough.
your opportunity.
I think I've said enough.
Okay, I guess he's just trying to say that I'm rambling too much.
You are.
But, hey, I have a lot of things to say. If I go through something and it's something hard and it could help a few people out there feel less lonely or help just in general, because why go through stuff if you're not going to tell anyone, it could help people, then what's the point? Anyway, I don't want to leave this video on a depressive note, but that's our podcast. That's what we that was the goal of today, to make a podcast, so we did. So that's the question. If you had an option to be in another culture, what culture would you be? Mine is Italian and his is still
Spanish.
Mexican.
Spanish.
Spanish, I guess. Hey, we both are European then.
But see, I'm up here and you're like down here.
That's the kind of mindset we need to fight against. All right, you guys.